Hello everyone, welcome back to another video on the channel. Today is Keep, Sell or Loan Leicester City edition. It's as simple as that. We've got the whole Leicester City squad for the up and coming Premier League season on Tier Maker, and we're just going to be ranking them. Starting things off then with Mads Hermansen. I think this is the easiest one of the whole video. It's got to be in Keep. Fantastic first season at Leicester City. Maybe a slightly different role this season under a new manager in terms of the need for him to be on the ball, but yeah, he's got to go into Keep. Danny Ward then, he is still a Leicester player, 1 year left on his contract, which means we can get a tiny little fee for him, but yeah, extremely low value, didn't play a single minute last season. Danny Ward has got to go into sell. Jakub Soumare then next up. I think this one is fairly straightforward as well. Fantastic season of him breaking into that number 2 spot in goal. Was very reliable when called upon in the cup game, so for me, we have got to keep hold of Jakub Soumare this season. So many keepers at Leicester City right now, but the final one is Daniel Iverson. Now this one's an interesting one. Obviously was on loan at Stoke for the back end of last season. Don't think he'll be going there, but for me, I'd definitely put Daniel Iverson in sell. He's got the ability to go to a championship club, and for me, we just need to move him on, release his wages, and for Daniel Iverson himself, in terms of his career, a move on is needed, surely. Moving into the defenders then, first of all, Ricardo Pereira, keep. James Justin, I think Leicester should be keeping hold of him as well. Premier League experience, I'm not his biggest fan, but he can still do a job for us and had a fairly good season, so yeah. Got to keep hold of JJ. Callum Dawn. Obviously with Callum, it's more of a case of do we signing or not, because currently he is actually a Manchester City player and he's gone back to his parent club. If we were sat here a few weeks ago with Enzo Maresca still in charge, I probably would have said yes, but now I'm slightly unsure because it may cost a slight bit, and you know, is it a player we need this season? Is it pivotal for Leicester? Probably not. It would be nice to have him, but in terms of PSR and whatnot, I just think it could be a bit of a stretch. But yeah, I think Callum Doyle is going to be a big talent, and it would be a shame to lose him, but in terms of the finances, it could be a difficult one for Leicester. Victor Christensen next up is another interesting one. Was of course on loan at Bologna last season, did very well, and in fact got Champions League football. But the key thing here, Bologna have got rid of their manager, Motta, who's gone to Juventus. So it's a case of, does the new Bologna manager want Christensen? It's 15 million for them, and from reports, they don't want to pay that. So there could potentially be a role for Victor Christensen at Leicester. Of course, a very attacking fullback, and could potentially suit the system of Carlos Corberán if he is going to become the new Leicester City boss. So we'll see about that one. It's too early to judge, but right now, I would say keep, because I think Victor Christensen is a very good player. Luke Thomas, sell. It is a shame. 2 loan spells last season to Sheffield United and Borough. Didn't really work out. His contract has run out. Is it worth Leicester renewing it? I don't think so. Is he Premier League standard? I don't think so either. So yeah, massive shame. Obviously, academy player for Leicester, but I think it's time to let go of Luke Thomas this transfer window. Another player out of contract is Yannick Vestergaard, and this one's an interesting one as well, because if we were sat here a few weeks ago once again with Enzo in charge, I would say yes, but now a new manager coming in, is Vestergaard going to be a part of Leicester's plans next season? I'm unsure, but in terms of his performance last season, I would keep him. He's got Premier League experience, so I would give Yannick Vestergaard maybe a 1-year extension, but nothing too drastic. Ben Nelson, breakthrough season, you could say. Obviously made a few first team appearances. For me, is he Premier League standard yet? I don't think so. So I think a loan for Ben Nelson to potentially the Championship or a League One club would suit him to the ground, get his experience and get him ready, hopefully when Leicester are now going to be an established Premier League club if we stay up. About Faz, I would keep him as of now, but there has been a few reports suggesting that he is open to a move away. He's got 3 years left on his contract, so if he is wanting to go, it's a deal which Leicester could do, because you know he's not our best player, but there's value in terms of his contract. So as of right now, like I said, I'll keep that Faz. Very, very good last season. You know, he has got some sort of Premier League experience, albeit the season we got relegated. But yeah, good defender and you know solid performance last season. Harry Souttar. Now this is another manager-dependent kind of player, because you know if Maresca was still in charge, I think every single one of us watching this video would put him in sell, because he was nowhere near the squad. But you know, last season, when he played, I thought he was fairly good. He's still playing for Australia. So if someone fancies Harry Souttar, he's more than capable, in my opinion, of playing week in, week out in the Premier League. So as of right now, I would say keep, but I think sell could definitely be on as well, because obviously last season he barely played a minute. However, Souttar could bring him some pretty good value in terms of transfer funds for Leicester. Obviously only recently joining the club, a long contract, and according to Transfer Market, he still has an 8 million price tag. Next up, Connor Cody for me goes into the keep category. Yes, he didn't play much last season, but he's got that Premier League experience. He knows how to lead the dressing room, and that is going to be vital this season. So yeah, Connor Cody goes into keep. Hamza Chowdhury. Now this one is controversial. I'm going to put him into sell because, for one, is he Premier League standard, and has he really improved at Leicester since he broke into the first team? I don't think so. So for me, it's just time to let go of Hamza, and I think for him himself, it would just better his career, because yes, he could be involved for Leicester, but surely he wants first team football, and he's definitely capable of doing so at a team like Watford in a Championship, and obviously he was at Watford just last season as well. So for me, it's sad, but it's time to let Hamza go and just bring in some money. Wilfred Ndidi, another interesting one, of course, out of contract this season for Leicester, so it's a case of, do we retain him, give him a contract extension, or do we let Wilfred Ndidi go? Been at the club for ages, since 2017, been an absolute legend for us, and I really think it's time to refresh the squad. So if Ndidi is pondering, if he doesn't want to, if he's thinking about a move away, personally, I wouldn't be too against it. Obviously, it would be a massive shame. He's been at Leicester for a very long time. But like I said, we just need to kind of offload the squad and bring some fresh players into the team. And I just think it could be time for Wilfred Ndidi to move on at Leicester. But Boubakary Soumare obviously wasn't alone at Sevilla last season. I think he did fairly well, played consistent minutes, which is what Leicester would have wanted to happen. Now, right now, I'd say keep Soumare, because I just think that I still think that there is some sort of player in there. Look, if Sevilla are interested in him and want to sign him for a decent fee, I wouldn't be against it. But I just think under the right manager, there's still a good player in Boubakary Soumare, and if it can work, it would feel like a new signing for Leicester. So controversial, I know. I would keep Boubakary Soumare this season. Harry Winks, you've got to keep hold of him. Fantastic season, came in like he's been in for years, and he's got Premier League experience. He's going to be crucial again for Leicester next season. So no debates around that one. Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall, keep. Obviously, this one may be taken out of Leicester's hands due to PSR, because of course he's a homegrown player. There has been some interest, but we can't afford to let Dewsbury-Hall go. So yeah, this is probably one of the most obvious ones of the entire video. We've got to keep hold of Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall, going to be vital for us next season. Dennis Praet, it feels like this man has been linked with Torino for the past decade. He's out of contract. Now it's just time to let Dennis Praet go. And for him as well, for his career, he's been at Leicester since 2019 now. A move on is needed. Obviously, we won't get any funds from him, but he can release the wage bill slightly. So yeah, get rid of Dennis Praet, and hopefully he can finally get his move to Torino on a permanent basis. Now looking at two younger players for Leicester in Sammy Braybrook and Will Alves. These two, in my opinion, are the exact same. Loan them out to potentially Championship or League One or even League Two. We saw it. Casey McAteer was at Wimbledon a few years ago, worked wonders. Dewsbury-Hall, Luton, Blackpool, look at the player now. So the value of loans in the EFL is absolutely massive, and I think Will Alves and Sammy Braybrook, it will be massive for them, because look, they've had a whole season out. Are they ready to come into the squad in the Premier League? I don't think so. So yeah, loans for Sammy Braybrook and Will Alves. Steffi Mavididi, keep, easy as that. Abdul Fatawu, I think this one is pretty much confirmed already, but Leicester have got to make sure the signing is done on a permanent basis from Sporting. 15 million is the reported fee, worth every single penny if he can replicate last season. So yeah, Fatawu, sign him up. Mark Albrighton, it's another sad one, but for me, release, and I think Albrighton knows it himself. A brilliant servant for Leicester City. He's been through it all with us, but I just think everyone knows. We saw the last game against Blackburn. I think it's over for Albrighton at Leicester City. So yeah, good luck to him. Absolute legend of the club, and it's time for Albrighton to leave. Next up is Wanya Marcel. Of course, was heavily involved at the start of the season before Fatawu arrived, but now he doesn't look like he's going to get anywhere near the starting lineup. So for me, just like Will Alves and Sammy Braybrook, a loan for Wanya Marcel would be massive. He looks to be a good player. He's got some ability. So yeah, let him go out alone to a Championship, a League One club, learn his trade, come back to the Premier League at Leicester and be ready to go, fingers crossed. Casey McAteer, if Leicester had enough depth out wide, I'd send him on loan as well, but based on the players we're selling, I'm loaning out here, we've got to have some depth out wide. So right now, I would keep Casey McAteer. Just like Wanya, obviously started the season absolutely phenomenally. Got injured, never really recovered from it. So for me, I think McAteer would benefit from a loan, but in terms of squad numbers right now, we have to keep hold of him and keep him for this season. Kelechi Iheanacho, another player who is out of contract this season for Leicester City, and I think it's another one like Mark Albrighton. I think we kind of know that Kelechi maybe is on his way out. I just can't see him signing a contract extension. The only thing which could turn this around is the fact that Enzo has left, because he wasn't seen to be involved, especially towards the back end of last season. So maybe a new manager fancies Kelechi and we can sign him a contract extension. But again, he's been at Leicester for a long time and it could be time to move on. So as of right now, I would sadly release Kelechi Iheanacho and get rid of him. Patson Daka. Now, I could rinse the guy here quite easily. I'm going to say sell for obvious reasons. It's just not really worked out at Leicester. Started off very well, in fact, Then got the goals against United, the 3 goals, in fact, in the Europa League against Spartak Moscow away. But this season, just not been at it, and he almost cost us going up, in my opinion. So for me, Patson Daka needs to be sold. He can move on with his career, and good luck to Patson. Tom Cannon, Leicester have got to keep hold of him, especially if Kelechi and Patson both depart this summer. We need to have depth, especially with Vardy, and in my opinion, Leicester definitely need to make sure we can sign another striker this season. But in terms of Cannon himself, a player in there, wasn't much involved. Enzo didn't seem to fancy him, so maybe now a new manager coming in could free up Tom Cannon. Is he Premier League ready? Not too sure, but I think he could definitely benefit from it. A loan could be good for him as well. But like I said, in terms of squad numbers right now, we haven't got much choice. So right now, keep Tom Cannon, but a loan could definitely be on for him. And finally, the GOAT, you know who it is, the man himself, Jamie Vardy. He's staying. He's signing another contract extension at Leicester, from reports anyway. But yeah, it can't end already. Keep him on for 10 more years. Jamie Vardy, obviously out of contract, give him another year, a rolling contract, whatever. Just do anything to keep the guy at the club. And in terms of playing, I don't think he'll have much of a role to play next season, but it's just Jamie Vardy. You've got to have him around Leicester City. So you go then, boys and girls, that is it for today's video. We've gone through the whole of the Leicester City squad. Keep, sell, loan, release, etc, etc, etc. Make sure to let me know your thoughts on my opinions in the comment section down below. A few controversial ones in there, but I think a lot of it is dependent on numerous factors, especially who comes in to be the new Leicester City manager. So yeah, lots of videos to come, streams within the next couple of weeks or so, but hopefully we have that new manager appointed, and we can learn a bit more about the shape of Leicester's squad going into the Premier League season. But yeah, thanks for watching. Make sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys later. Up the City.